I put up 250 videos on YouTube before I even got a dime. In March of 2023, I had just got monetized on YouTube and I had about 7,000 subscribers. Now I got over 370,000 subscribers 2 years later. Why? Because I just refused to quit. You couldn't stop me. When you become unstoppable, anything's possible. For those of you who may be feeling left behind in terms of life or in terms of money, this video's for you. I want to share some things on this video that's going to help maybe motivate you, maybe give you some encouragement, maybe give you some actionable steps and things that you can do or at least think about doing to help pull yourself out of this bad place or this feeling that you're behind everybody else and everybody else is doing better than you, right? Whatever the case, hopefully I give you something to inspire you, something to make you think, okay, well, you know what? I can do it. I feel better after watching this video. Guys, first, it's okay to feel like you're behind. It's sort of a natural thing. If you're feeling like that, you feel like you're behind everybody else, don't fret, don't get upset, don't be mad, don't be angry, don't feel like you're alone. There's a lot of people out here that feel like they're behind or like they should be doing more. And I think a lot of that has to do with social media, because it's easy for us nowadays to see other people succeeding every single moment of the day. All we got to do is pick up our cell phone. Next thing you know, we see everybody having all this success on our cell phone. Now listen, if we're all living in 1960, we don't get to see that. We only see the people around us in 1960 or 1980, right? But today, we see TV, the people around us. As a matter of fact, for a lot of people, we're paying closer attention to what we see on the social media, on the internet, than we pay attention to the people that are right around us in our own neighborhood, our own block, right? So we have this thing nowadays that's been really pumped up by social media because we can easily scroll and we say, wow, all these people are doing all these good things. And see, we don't really realize that social media is fooling us. It's tricking us. It's tricking our brain into thinking that this is everybody's life and not realizing we're watching the highlights from everybody's life, all in one big feed on our Facebook or Instagram or YouTube account. We're just watching the highlights. We're not seeing all the problems, the issues, the bad debt, the horrible use of credit cards or the student loan debt, or we don't see any of that. All we see is the great stuff that they put on social media, and it's accessible to all of us all day long. So I just want to remind you first and foremost on this video that comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of peace. Don't get in the habit of comparing yourself with everybody because it's going to make you feel like you're more and more behind. But it's just a facade. When you look at social media and you feel like and you begin to think that everybody's doing wonderful and everybody is successful and everybody is happy and everybody is just having a ball, right? That ain't true. But our brain thinks it is because we have access to everybody's highlights every single day, right? Just remember that you're on your timeline, right? You are on your own pace. You don't have to compare that pace with everybody else. Now, another thing to think about if you're behind or you're feeling like you're behind everybody else is it's okay to start small, right? It's okay to just take little bitty bites at a time. You want to get started on your wealth building journey or your life journey, whatever you want to call it. But sometimes when you feel overwhelmed because you put so much pressure on yourself, you end up not achieving or doing what you could be doing. But the key is this: small, consistent steps instead of worrying about taking these big old leaps. Just take small, consistent steps on a regular basis and you'll be fine. For example, something like setting up automatic withdrawals from your checking account into your brokerage account. $50 a week, $30 a month, $100 a month. Small. Just a little step so that every single month, $100 goes into your brokerage account and you don't have to think about it. Goes in there automatic. And once it hits your brokerage account, you can automate it or direct it towards a certain index fund or ETF or whatever. Something small. You don't have to get it all back in 1 year, 6 months, right? Take your time. Maybe you want to pay off one debt at a time, maybe the snowball method, and you just put money towards one debt at a time. And then you take all that money, put it to the next debt. You want to have some small wins along the way. And these small wins that you get sort of create momentum for you as you move on through life and dealing with your money and trying to build some wealth. Small wins over the course of a long period of time, they add up, right? You're looking for progress. You're not always looking for this perfection. And a lot of people are very hard on themselves, right? A lot of people get down on themselves. They want more for themselves. They say, I could be doing more. Look, I'm 35 years old. I could be doing this. And they watch that podcast, and they watch that YouTube channel, and they see that, and they say, I can do more. I want to do more. And I'm saying, relax, take your time, take a pause. You're probably doing better than you think, but you strive for progress a little bit every single day, right? There's no 10-point shot in basketball. You're down 10 points, 20 points in a basketball game. You got to get that back like 2 to 3 points at a time. You can't try to get it all back in 2 minutes, but you're better off getting it in small chunks, just worrying about the next shot, the next offensive play. And then on the same note, you got to stop beating yourself up. A lot of people feel this sort of shame and guilt because they think that they're behind everybody else. They think that everybody else is doing great things and they're not doing great things. That type of shame can keep you feeling anxious, keep you stressed out. It can really keep you stuck because you can get into a funk real easy, right? Sort of a depression, or get down real easy when it looks like everybody else is doing well and you're not doing well. Look, if you made poor financial decisions in your life, welcome to the club. We're all in the club. We've all done stupid stuff with money, made tons of mistakes with money. But at the end of the day, as long as you do a few things right with money and you don't repeat the mistakes you made, you're going to be fine. The key is don't live in the mistakes you made, right? You're going to make some, but then you got to live life moving forward. Stop looking back at all the mistakes you made and then wallowing in the past. Look, the next day, what's ahead of you is what's most important, not what's behind you. You can't do anything about what's behind you. Look, don't live in your mistakes for 10 and 20 years, always looking back about what could be or what could have been or where I went wrong. Look, everybody makes these mistakes. Don't let the past define your future. Forgive yourself. It's over. Move on. Look, I talk to myself all the time. Right? Even when I'm alone, I'm talking out loud to myself because I realize that, some days the best things that you're going to hear about yourself are the things that you say to yourself out loud, intentionally, on purpose. So speak good things about yourself to yourself out loud. It really works. You're not your mistakes. You are just the person who's learning from your mistakes. That's all. Which takes me to my next point. Focus on what you can control, okay? The economy, the job market, the inflation, the president, your crazy supervisor that seems like they're picking on you at work. You can't control any of that. A lot of things that you run up against in life or with your money, you don't have a lot of control over. So there's some things you do have control over, but a lot of it is out of your control. And it's only going to frustrate you to focus on things that you can't control, right? You can control your spending. You can control what your expenses are every single month. You can control whether or not you buy that car with $500 down and pay $700 a month for the next 72 months, right? You can control that. You can control what you invest in. You can control your daily habits, your weekly habits around money or around planning for money or managing money, right? There's some areas of your life that you really do control. And if you just get a hold of those things and focus much of your attention on those things, life is going to be better. Because when you shift your focus onto what you can control, that's where you get your power back. That's where you get a feeling of, hey, I got this. I can do this. That comes from the things that you control. Everything that's out of your control is only going to frustrate you, is only going to stress you out. This is why personal responsibility is like a superpower. Because when you take personal responsibility over the things that you control, now you have the power to fix it. Now you have the power to do something about it. Now you have the power to actually change what you've been doing. develop new habits, start new things, start thinking differently and start acting differently. Those are things that are all in your control. And when you manage those well, that's your power. That's when stress goes away. That's when anxiety calms down, because you have the ability to control the solutions. And when you have that ability, you can be unstoppable, right? Like the old saying goes, look, you can't control the wind, but you can certainly control your sails that you put up, like on a boat, right? You can control those and move those and manipulate those, but you can't do anything about the wind. Which takes me to this. You got to build a plan for yourself. What is the plan for your life? What is the plan for your money? What is the plan that you've set up? Do you have it written down? Right? Do you have it on a piece of paper, a notebook, or a spreadsheet, Google, on your phone, the screen on your laptop, right? Do you have this plan? What are you working off of? Just a dream or just a thought? Just some aims in your head that you're thinking about you want to do? Where's your plan? And then once you get a plan, stick to that plan. Stay focused on it. Look, your vision is going to help you see what you want down the road for your life, for your money, what have you. Your persistence is what's going to help you get there, right? It's going to help you reach any goal that you have. And then your consistency is going to help you maintain it and keep it, right? When it comes to your money, you don't really have to be some financial expert with all the answers and having, knowing all of the stuff and reading all the books. You don't have to really do all that. You just got to really make a plan and stick to it. Track your expenses on a regular basis by writing down a budget. All the boring stuff, right? Build up an emergency fund, at least a couple of $1,000s right now. Then, pay off some debt. Do the debt snowball so you get rid of your debt, and then build out your emergency fund fully so you feel comfortable with 3 to 6 months or more of money that you can go to in case you need it. And then, invest. Listen, this is a plan. Everybody's plan is different. What you want is different than what the next person wants. But the key is having a simple plan that you follow. It's your plan. Work it. And just be consistent with it. You're doing just fine if you're working your plan. A simple plan that you stick to beats a really fancy plan that you quit or that you don't stick to. And also, hey, you got to make sure that you're surrounding yourself. If you're feeling like you're left behind, you have to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with positive influences. People that can speak positive things into your life, or at least add value to your life, right? Because certain people are literally going to stunt your growth. Literally, certain people that you're around are going to pull on you. They're going to drain you. They're going to be very negative, and they can really stunt your growth where you're trying to go. So I'm encouraging you that, if you feel like you're left behind, try to surround yourself with positive people. You got to make sure that you don't fall for the snake oil salesman, or the person that's selling you a box of Cheerios and calling them donut seeds, or the people that, when you first hear them, you're like, there's something fishy about that person. If you get a feeling that there's something fishy about that person, there may be something fishy about that person. You need to surround yourself with people who hold you accountable, people who are supportive of what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go, people that tell you, look, you don't have to compare yourself, run your own race, and people or financial communities who are working towards similar goals as you. Whether that's people online or whether it's people that you know and get around in person, doesn't matter. But more than likely, you're going to have to cut some people off along the way. If you're feeling stuck and behind, maybe you feel stuck and behind because of the people who you're around on a regular basis that tend to make you feel like you are behind. Now, here's the kicker though. You want to make sure that you don't just totally isolate yourself from people who inspire you. Like, if there's somebody that's at where you're trying to go and they're inspiring to you and they kind of make you want to do better, that's okay. But it's a fine line between that person who's encouraging you and inspiring you to do more and better and the person who makes you feel like you're behind. And some of that is based on your perception. Sometimes the person is just living their life. And because of the way you think, you're jealous. Or the way you think, you have a little bit of envy and you feel like you're behind because you watch that person. Don't get mad at them just because they're living their life and they're doing the right things and they're growing and getting better and whatever they're doing and to move up in the world. You got to make sure you approach and look at them with the right perspective and you've got the right motives. If they're motivating and inspiring you to do better, great. But if you look at them and you get jealous, maybe that's on you. But you don't have to do this alone. You can find people to support you. You can find people that will lift you up. And you got to make sure you separate from yourself from the people who bring you down. And it may mean being by yourself for a while, going monk mode and just sort of disappearing for a minute so you can get your own stuff together. And give yourself permission to dream again, guys. You know, where is that vision you had when you was 10 years old and you wanted to be this when you grow up? Or where is that vision you had when you were 19, 18, 19, fresh out of high school, and you're ready to approach the world, and you had so much vigor and energy and strength? Sometimes life can beat you down along the way. I totally get it. But I want you to consider, you know, reconnecting with that part of you that inspired you, or just reconnect with that part of you that made you truly want some things out of life, want something better, want something more, and being willing to do the things and go the extra mile and take that step, go to that class, read that book, go to that conference, whatever it is, dig into that piece of you if you're feeling behind, right? Not just for financial sake, but for life's sake, for relationship's sake, for the sake of your career, or how you want to help other people, whatever it could be, right? It could be, you know, it could be the part of you that wants to travel, the part of you that wants to be that doctor, the part of you that wants to own that home or start that business. Or maybe it's just the part of you that wants that peace from all the noise. I'm here on this video to remind you that all of that is still possible with some intentional focus and the right attitude, right? The positive mentality. And it's going to take some work on your part. You got to do some things. You can't just sit around and think and think and think. You got to get up and do something. You got to make it happen. It can still be done. So you got to dream again. You got to hope again. Look, the poorest person on the planet is not the person without money. The poorest person on the planet is the person who has no hope, no dreams, no vision. I know it's cliche-ish, but it's a true principle. And then finally, guys, is this. This is what I want to share with you. If you're feeling left behind, there's going to be setbacks. There's going to be curveballs. Life doesn't move in a straight line, right? Life kind of takes a twist here, a turn there, and then, you know, we go up a hill, we go back down the hill to the valley, and things get bad, and things get light again. Like, life has all those twists and turns. But as long as you keep showing up, and as much as you can, keep showing out, and continue to make progress day after day, things will get better. Life is really designed to work in your favor if you follow certain principles. Everything I talk about on this channel is about principles. And if you just follow the principles that I'm giving you on this video and other videos, you're going to make it. You're going to be fine. Don't compete with everybody else. Just compete with you, the person you were yesterday. Get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better every day. And you're going to make it. You're going to be fine. Because these small steps, they compound over time. Just doing the right things. If you know it's the right thing with money, just keep doing it. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't stop and get weary in well-doing. When you're doing the right thing with money, keep going. It may take a year. It may take 10 years. It may take 20 years for it to show that it was the right thing to be doing. But you just got to stay with it. You got to keep going. Look, if I didn't keep going, you wouldn't be watching this YouTube video right here. I put up 250 videos on YouTube before I even got a dime in terms of being monetized on YouTube. In March of 2023, I had just got monetized on YouTube, and I had about 7,000 subscribers. Now I got over 370,000 subscribers 2 years later. Why? Because I just refused to quit. I knew that what I was doing was going to help somebody. I knew that what I was doing, I believed in what I was doing and what I could deliver and had to deliver and what people needed to hear about personal finances and life, right? So I just kept going. You couldn't stop me. When you become unstoppable, anything's possible. So for those of you who are feeling left behind in life or with your money, I hope this quick video was helpful for you, right? Encouraging and motivational, and at least inspired you to say that, you know what, maybe I'm not so far behind from the rest of the world. Maybe if I just put down social media for a week, a couple of days, maybe I'd feel better about myself and where I am and what I'm doing. Hey, if this video was valuable to you, prove it. And the way you prove it is by smashing that like button and sharing this video with your network of people. The best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you. Guys, take good care of people and take good care of yourself because you're people too. Until the next video, peace.